What are the popular scale in diecast RC tank? Welcome to Hobby City channel. It's a great Saturday here when I prepare this awesome clips to introduce you the most popular scale used in diecast RC tank. But first, let's dive into the history of diecast tank before we move on to the different scale available. So let's go. Brief history of diecast RC tanks. The history of diecast toys began as early as the 20th century from the hands of industry giants like Mecanno. However, while Mecanno helped popularize the use of metal on mainstream toys, its range of products was very different from what we know associate with diecast. As such, when it comes to the idea of small metal-made toys based on vehicles, TootsieToy was probably the biggest inspiration on today's diecast market. TootsieToys releases closely followed our modern idea of diecast toys, offering various vehicles on a small scale. However, they were at their core very simple releases, with at most 7 pieces, the main body, 4 wheels, and 2 axles. And that was for toys that managed to get more than 1 piece. On top of that, early diecast techniques still had many issues to fix, and as such, it wasn't rare for these early toys to crumble due to zinc impurities or play. The biggest hurdle for the rise of diecast tanks would be the popularity of tanks themselves. While tanks were deployed in World War I, they were far from being a common sight and much less a popular one. This of course would change once World War II rolled out. With tanks being deployed by all major players in the war, and as key players both on the battlefield and propaganda, tanks fully found a place in the mind of the average citizen. The post-war 40s and all of the 50s would prove vital for the development and rise of diecast tanks. With more advanced construction techniques available, it became possible to build more elaborate and detailed toys. Matchbox's arrival to the scene changed everything for diecast toys. These miniature diecast vehicles were suddenly one of the most popular and affordable brands in the market. And the company behind it, Lesney, would slowly introduce tanks into the line, granting diecast toys an action theme that would endure to this day. While diecast tanks remain a simple and popular toy for many companies in the current century, their largest appeal lies in the collector market. Taking advantage of a century of techniques and innovations, modern diecast tanks are incredibly detailed replicas that can appeal both to history fans and general toy lovers in equal measure. Alright, so now that you have a fairly understanding the history of the RC diecast tank, let's move to understand what the popular scale in this industry are. Non-scale. Occasionally a tank model will simply be sold as a non-scaled toy. What this means is that it doesn't fit a specific measurement and was simply produced to the manufacturer's specifications. While non-scale toys can come in various sizes, they are most often meant for kids, as accuracy isn't the priority with them. 1/72 scale, by far one of the most popular and plentiful scales available for diecast tanks. The size makes each tank as large as your average Hot Wheels release, making them affordable and small enough to display in large quantities. On top of that, 1/72 scale is a popular scale for military kits as a whole, so it's very easy to combine these tanks into other collections. 1/48 scale. A tank in 1/48 scale can easily be the size of your palm or larger, and this allows the model to include much more detail. 1/48 is a great scale when you want to bring all the attention to the model itself and not a shared display. 1/32 scale, the default large scale in this hobby. 1/32 scale tanks are large, chunky, heavy, and packed with all the possible detail you could ask for. As a result of this, they are considerably more expensive, but the level of detail they bring to the table is simply unmatched. That's it for today, folk. I hope you had enjoyed this short clip on different RC tanks scale. Before you go, remember to hit the subscribe button and hit that bell icon, so that you will not miss any of the video we publish in Hobby City. I'll see you in another video shortly.